think I'm live now. Hey everybody, how's it going? Mike here. Mike's Computer Tips with another video on computer repair, computer maintenance, computer tips, everything computer related we talk about on my channel and even more. We even talk about the weather, we talk about just anything in general. If you're new here and you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe. Hit the bell. Make sure you turn the notification from personalized to all so you see all the videos. And do thumbs up or thumbs down, however you feel at the time. And just be a part of the computer repair video. I talk a lot about clean your computer yourself, how to take care of your computer without being a computer expert. You don't have to have a lot of computer knowledge. But I do repair computers in my business, and if you need any computer repair done, you can leave it in the comments. And I have people that ship their computers to me for repair, laptops mostly, and we can arrange that if you want your computer repaired. But all my videos will help you if you want to learn about computer repair or even being a computer repair person. I have videos on that also. I never thought in my wildest dream that I'd ever be a computer repair person. I got involved in computer repair kind of like, I wanted to know how to operate my own computer. So I learned, and then while I was learning, I started helping other people that had the same questions. And eventually I started fixing computers for the public and businesses and home users like you, small businesses, and that was over 20 years ago, and I'm still doing it. So I've always enjoyed it, and I am still making videos on computer repair, and I'm doing a lot of live streams now. My live streams are like almost every day. I'm coming out with a live stream. So check out my live streams if you haven't seen them before. I'm doing one every couple days, usually half an hour or an hour long. And I answer computer questions, and we talk, and it's a lot of fun. Computers have came a long way ever since, I got into them, which is a long time ago, and it started out with like Windows 98. From then, it went to second edition 98, and then I think it was XP, Windows Me, which is Millennium, and Windows 7. And then we have Windows 10 now. So it's keeps changing, upgrading. The memory has gotten a lot more capability. The hard drives are a lot bigger now. And they just keep on getting better and better. The technology keeps on growing, When I started out, I think the most memory RAM that you could have in your computer was like 512. Most people had 256 or 512 or 128. Now you can have up to 32 gigs in systems. So it's came a long way. But there's still basics, a lot of the basics as far as maintenance goes and day-to-day usage. A lot of that has not changed. I mean, I always refer to like your car or your house, or you have a garden, that you take care of at your house. in your car, you change the oil, you wash it, you maintain it. Well, computer's the same type of vehicle. It needs to be maintained because after a while, like as you're using it, it's going to get slower, it's going to get sluggish. You're going to start getting a lot of things popping up on the screen and programs coming on that you don't even remember putting on, or you may not ever put it on, will just pop up out of nowhere. And you'll be like, yeah, this computer used to work really good. And now I can hardly do anything. Well, if that's the case, you come to the right place for sure. Even if your computer's running good, you definitely come to the right place because there is some maintenance things, basic maintenance that you should be doing. And you should have a couple programs on there which are all free that you should be using too from time to time. I talk about CCleaner a lot. CCleaner is a free utility that you can download it and install it on your computer to clean out your, some temporary stuff that's on your computer, and it will help it speed it up. You can also clean the registry out. Windows has a registry where when you delete files or delete programs, not all the files get deleted, so they get stuck in the registry. So you can use the registry cleaner on the CCleaner application. Also, I recommend Malwarebytes free version, which gets rid of like virus type issues like malware and spyware and things like that get on your computer. There's a free version in that, and a lot of people use that. And I still use these programs, and they've been around for a pretty long time, and they still work good. So I still use them. And you should use these type of programs too. I always tell people, if you want to go out and buy an expensive antivirus software, that's up to you. And a lot of times what they do is they slow your computer down because they're using a lot of your resources. And I recommend a free one that is a standalone. It's called Avast, A-V-A-S-T, free version for Windows 10 or Windows 7. And you can do a search for that and download a nice antivirus program. But you have to remember, if you're on Windows 10 already has a free version built in. It's called Windows Defender. So you really don't need to have two antivirus programs because Windows Defender works good and it's working in the background of your computer. So if you're not sure if it's running, type in Windows Defender and make sure everything is on and protected. That way you know that it's working. But I believe by default, you do have protection from that. Let's talk a little about maintaining your computer. If you have a laptop, if you have a desktop, there's certain things that you want to do to it periodically. And the first thing that I recommend is if you have a desktop, every once in a while you should unplug it, open up the side of it, and clean out all the dust. Because dust gets on the fans, dust gets on inside the circuit board, which is called the motherboard, and it gets on all your parts. And even on the back where you plug it in, a lot of dust gets in that. So make sure you take a vacuum or you take a brush. Don't use any liquid, and make sure you clean all the dust off it periodically. Your computer will run a lot cooler. The enemies of a computer is liquid like water and heat. Heat will make it get real hot, and it won't last that long. So periodically you should clean the inside of it. If you have a laptop, laptops work a little different as far as the heat goes. The fan is inside the laptop and it pushes the air out. But on the side of it, there'll be a little grill. Make sure that's clear of dust and circulating, and then that your fan is going on periodically to cool down your laptop. It gets hot. So that's good thing to do, on a desktop or a laptop. Also, like I said, run the CCleaner, run the Malwarebytes periodically if you think you have some kind of virus. Another thing that's very important that I always talk about is cleaning your browser history. Now, what's a browser history? Okay, you use Google, Chrome, Firefox, or whatever browser you use to get to the internet. And as you go into the different websites, you're getting history that it's saving, and in order for you to get back to the site and make it easy for you, it saves a history. But the problem with that is after a while, if you don't clear them out, you get too many of them, and it'll slow the computer down, or you won't get to the websites that fast. So you should go into your browser and clean out the temps. And there's a drop-down menu when you click on this on the three dots on the right-hand side, upper right-hand side, and you go to history. Make sure that you click the drop-down and put it to all of them. That way, you clean everything once you hit the button that says clean all history. You might have to do it a few times because it doesn't always work the first time. But you should clean your browser history, every couple months, or if you see that your browser's not working that good. And another thing I tell people is if you have programs on your computer that you don't need or you don't use, uninstall them. Go into the control panel, make sure you're showing, the whole control panel with your drop down. Make sure it's set on large, and then you'll see the whole control panel. And then you double click on where it says programs and features, and there'll be a list there, and make sure you highlight every program you don't want one at a time and just hit uninstall. And files is the same thing. If you have a lot of movies that you save on your computer, a lot of pictures that you save, those things will slow down your computer in time. So you want to save those to like an external device, external hard drive, and then delete it off your system if you don't use those things. The less stuff you have on your hard drive, the faster your computer is going to work. Because unless you have an SSD hard drive, which has no moving parts, a regular hard drive in your computer is going to be spinning. That's how it works. And the more stuff you have on there, the slower it's going to get. So always remember, if you have anything important on your computer, save it now before it's too late. If your computer ever crashes, and a lot of people know what that is, that means that it stops working and it won't start up. At least you'll be able to say, I have all my important information on my external hard drive, so I'm not going to lose it. Do that before you lose your information. If it's important to you and you don't want to lose it, save it on an external hard drive. That's like computer 101, very important. That goes along with maintaining your computer, is doing regular backups and saving your information. That's important. If you have a lot of unnecessary files on your computer, delete them too, or save them. But the cleaner you keep your system, the better it's going to run. And that's the bottom line. So anybody that wants to maintain their computer, do these tips. You can also check out some of my other videos on computer repair, and they'll help you if you have any questions on anything at all on your computer, or any computer question. Make sure you leave it in the comments, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. That way you'll see all the videos and you won't miss anything. Anybody that wants to and ask a question, leave it in the comments. If you have a computer tip of yourself that you want to share with people, definitely leave it in the comments and somebody else can benefit from it. I'm going to do other videos on computer things. I was asked by somebody if I would do a video on the things you shouldn't do on your computer, like what you shouldn't do related to your computer. And I did a video a while back called Computer Do's and Don'ts. And that is kind of a breakdown, but I'll do a revised version of it about some of the things you shouldn't do and some of the things you should do. But some people are asking me, like, what are the things you shouldn't do? One of the things you shouldn't do is after your computer's already fully charged with the battery, you shouldn't keep the plug in. You should just run it on battery until it goes all the way down. And then once it goes down, then you plug it in again. You know, once it's fully charged. If you're running it on battery, then just unplug it. Another thing that you shouldn't do is don't ever put anything on top of your laptop, or even when it's closed. Like some people will put something like a heavy object. Don't put anything on there because you could damage the screen. The weight of it can damage the screen. And it goes for laptops and desktops, you know, but mostly laptops. Don't drink any water, any hot liquid, or eat any food that close to your laptop, because you can also damage your laptop that way. People have spilled coffee, sugar drink, soda with sugary drinks, and all kinds of stuff like coffee will like totally ruin your laptop. So make sure you don't drink near it. And if you run into that situation where you spill liquid on it, the first thing you should do is shut it off and don't turn it back on and unplug it. Sometimes people try to turn it back on and see if it'll work, and that causes more damage to it. So if you ever run into that where, your kid accidentally spilled something on your laptop, make sure you shut it off right away and unplug it. Don't try to turn it back on. Take it to a shop and see if it's, repairable. Sometimes you can repair it. Other times you have to replace the parts or just get a whole new laptop, because it depends on what gets damaged. Recently, I had somebody that brought me a laptop to work on, and they spilled some yogurt on it and let it sit for a long time. Thank God I was able to take it apart and clean all the yogurt off it, and it was on the inside, and it was able to come out. But some things that you spill will not come out, and it will not repair the laptop. So you have to be very careful not to drink anything near it or spill anything or leave the wire in the way while you're using it. Sometimes people can trip over it, or you can trip over the wire yourself. Those are things you have to be aware of when you're using your laptop, like at home. Let's say another thing is, if your laptop is getting hot, best thing to do is have it checked out. Maybe the fan's not working. The fan can be broken, and that will make it hot, and it could even overheat. So make sure you hear the fan time and time again on your laptop. Every once in a while, it should go on and then shut off. So make sure that's working. If your laptop fan is working, but it still gets hot, some of these big box stores or even online, you can buy a laptop cooling pad, which is a pad that you sit it on, and it has some fans under it. You plug it into USB port, and it will cool your laptop while you're using it. And those things can come in real handy. But most importantly, make sure the fan is working, because you don't want to burn it out. You don't want to burn the processor out. So keep an eye on that. And there's a bunch of other things that we could talk about with laptops and even desktops, but I'll probably put those in another video. That way it'll help people. Another thing is smoking around your computer. Be careful. You shouldn't smoke very much around your computer. Well, you shouldn't smoke at all, obviously, but if you have a desktop, the smoke and a lot of dust will go into the fans, and that can clog up your fans. And then, your computer will run hot. So make sure you don't have a lot of dust, and, keep it clean, keep it maintained, and it should last a long time. If you do all that and you don't have a lot of memory, you can always add more memory to your computer. If you want it to run a lot faster, you can always change your hard drive to a solid state hard drive. They run a lot faster too. So there's hardware upgrades that you can do. Talk to your local computer shop if you want to do any hardware upgrades, or send me a message and I'll try to help you out with that. So I think I'm going to end this video now. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day. This is Mike's Computer Tips. I'm out.